Hi everyone, my name is Selena and I'm a mother of 16-month-old triplets. I'm a mother just like many of you out there trying her best, and this channel is to share my tips and experience with you. But I'm also going to be sharing my struggles and mistakes in this channel so that hopefully you can do better and have an easier journey. So this video is all about top tips for getting through your triplet pregnancy. So I know this works differently depending on the country you're in and the healthcare system, but where I'm based in Dubai, it's mainly private healthcare. And when I saw my OB/GYN and found out that I was actually pregnant with triplets, she advised that I see a fetal medicine specialist. So I did not know what this doctor was. I'd never heard of this type of doctor before, but I soon found out a fetal medicine specialist is someone who is specialized in high-risk pregnancies. So firstly, if you're in a position to be able to find this type of doctor and I guess choose your doctor, I would say take some time to meet different doctors to actually find someone that you're comfortable with. This person is going to be, helping you through the journey, and it's really important that it's someone you're comfortable with, someone maybe who has some experience in handling these type of pregnancies before. If they are going to be the ones delivering your baby. So I think that's a really important point. And also, depending on the doctor, they might be part of a private clinic. So also just make sure you know where that doctor actually delivers at, which hospital they're associated with, if they are part of a private clinic as well, because they will deliver somewhere else, and then the hospital is really where your babies will be taken care of. Triplets are born premature, usually, and will spend time in a neonatal ICU. So again, where I'm based in Dubai, it is private healthcare, and we had the chance to actually see different units. So some hospitals actually will organize tours for you even. I posted on forums, local parenting groups to ask, did anyone have any recommendations? What were their experiences, the pros and cons of different units? Again, it's really important to pick somewhere that you're comfortable with, maybe somewhere that does have a good reputation and experience with multiples, because once the babies are delivered, they're really going to be in the care of the nurses at the NICU, mostly speaking. So another element of that, which I'm not that comfortable with, but the truth is money. So here where it's private healthcare, we had to check with our insurance, what type of coverage they have for these type of units. Again, I don't like money kind of playing a factor in a healthcare decision, but they are really expensive. So it's important to make sure that, what will your insurance cover? And if you're able to get any kind of estimate from different hospitals. So for example, we actually requested from some hospitals if they could give us a approximation of, say, triplets born at X week, spending this many weeks in the unit, what would that look like potentially? And then we could see, how much our insurance covers and what the shortfall might be. So that's also just something to bear in mind. Thirdly, I would say find a base. So it's really important early on in your pregnancy to figure out where you're going to be based, and that may be your home or it may be somewhere else. So I actually ended up moving back in with my parents. It was the best, they were the best ones that could take care of me at that time. When you are pregnant with triplets, you get bigger a lot faster. So when I was at 5 or 6 months, for example, my doctor told me I was maybe the size of a 7 or 8 or 9-month pregnant lady with one baby. So physically speaking, you're getting bigger a lot quicker, and you're also really physically uncomfortable quicker, and especially towards the end. I mean, I know everyone's body is different, but especially sort of between 30 and 32 weeks, I really could barely walk. So I need a lot of help around. So just things to keep in mind is, is there anyone around that can be with you to help you with food, with diet, with moving around, especially towards the end, and also kind of who would take you to the hospital if a situation came that you needed to go, say, unexpectedly. Buy this book. So when you're expecting twins, triplets, or quads, proven guidelines for a healthy multiple pregnancy. So I was recommended to buy this book from a couple of other moms, and I found it actually really useful, and it was a pretty important resource for me throughout the pregnancy. It gives a lot of tips. The one I have is the 3rd edition, but I think online I've seen that there's an updated one now as well. I personally found it really useful, especially in times when you're feeling kind of scared and confused about the whole prospect of getting through a high-risk pregnancy. It gave me kind of a feeling of control and focus again. It gives a lot of information. I would give a heads up, it does focus quite a lot on diet and sort of why it's important to eat well during your pregnancy and what type of food to eat. And it does give weight gain targets. I did find them pretty overwhelming when I first read how much a triplet mother is expected to gain, or they advise. So I think in retrospect, I probably stressed a bit too much about it. So don't stress, just take it as a guide and do the best you can. But I do think the information is quite powerful and kind of helps direct your thinking. And so I did try to follow it during my pregnancy. Another tip then is just to connect with other mothers and support groups out there. So there's really a special bond between parents of multiples and especially premature babies. What I found is people are really supportive, they want to help, everyone kind of comes together. So whether you join, you meet people in person, online, through social media, just connect with people, find out from them what their advice is, what they did, what they struggled with. It's really helpful and will make you feel kind of less isolated. I actually followed mothers on Instagram, so triplet mothers, and I actually would message them wherever they were in the world and just ask questions, and they were usually quite responsive and helpful. So I think that's it's really helpful for your sort of mental well-being as well. Lastly, I would say preparing for your breastfeeding journey is really important. I mean, having breastfeeding one baby is hard enough, but if you're breastfeeding multiples, and especially with prematurity involved, it's really a whole other level. So anything you can do to prepare yourself it'll make your life much easier. So I am actually going to do another video on this topic because it's such a big topic. But just for now, I would say maybe look up buying a pump, see if your insurance will cover it or not. Try and find out the kind of how to use it, what the right measurements are, for example. And I actually read a book, which I will share in the description. It was all about also advice on how to breastfeed multiples. I think in retrospect, I wish I'd maybe met with a lactation consultant or some kind of specialist, because the book was great, but also you don't really comprehend all the challenges that you're going to go through from a book. So it also, speaking to people probably could have been helpful as well. So those are my top tips. I hope you found them helpful, and see you again soon.